Okay, this is Drunk Zombie Talk, episode 5. Going on 5 right now, and this is a very, very exclusive episode, and we're really, really excited about this one because this one's all about Walking Dead, and of course, everybody who is a zombie fan, this is what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting a whole month to do this. Yeah. And right now, we're just going to go ahead and shoot away with introductions. I am Rabbit. This is
Golden Ghost.
Again. And
DJ Chocolate Thunder, baby.
And we're going to go ahead and throw it over to DJ for the drinks, because we want to get into this real bad.
Alright, y'all. So tonight, we're drinking some Long Island iced teas. And actually, the first time that I had this drink was a couple nights ago. We don't, as you can see, we don't have all the alcohols that go into it. I'm not sure, so I'm going to let him tell you about all the alcohols that go into it while I pour me up a drink.
This is pre-mixed stuff. You can get it. It's about $10 a fifth or $16 a half gallon, and all you need is a fifth of sweet and sour, which is really cheap, and then of course a 2-liter Coke, and just mix it pretty much. The pitcher, you mix it half and half in a way, and then top it off with cola. But we made ours a little bit stronger because we just do it like that at Easy Tea. We don't mess around.
Yeah, we don't play. But I really like it. I mean, they said it gives you heartburn. I mean, I've only had one.
That was me that said that.
But it's pretty damn good. You can make them strong and they're still pretty damn good. And it's cheap to make. It's like $20 at the most after tax.
But yeah, all you do is just make it in a pitcher and pour it in there. It's pretty self-explanatory. It gives you instructions on the side.
And also there will be instructions right there. So
yeah.
If you don't know, now you know. Alright, and since we had already talked about the drinks, we're going to go ahead and move on to our main topic, which is Walking Dead, which is premiering tonight. It'll be the second part of season 3, which if you're a zombie fan, you are excited just as excited as we are here at DGT to see this.
Ready to see this happen.
To see this, how it plays out. And tonight we're just going to kind of talk about everything Walking Dead, starting from season 1. We're going to go chronologically. So if you ain't watched it, you need to step your game up because you ain't doing something right. You need to go watch it. Season 1, 2, and 3. Lucky for me, I got all season 3 recorded on the DVR. So.
But they're playing it on AMC right now. So if you're not watching this, if you're not watching it right now while you're watching this, you're dumb. What I want to get into is the first season of Walking Dead, and here we go. First season of Walking Dead.
Grade it 1 to 10. What would you grade the first season, man?
Okay, that's a good grade. Obviously 10. I mean, that was
really a 10.
I think it was original. It's very well thought out. They were starting to do it off precise to the comics. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
They were starting it off like the first couple of episodes, and then they started kind of scaling off a little bit. But it was new. It was new. It was not fucking vampires. It was not supernatural. It was fucking just new zombies.
What about what would be your grade? 1 to 10.
I'm gonna go with the 10 as well.
Okay, and explain.
First zombie show to come out as a series. What's not to like?
Yeah. All right, yours truly. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a 10 up there, y'all. 1-0.
Wow.
1-0. So first season of Walking Dead gets a 30, and I believe. I didn't even get into season 1 actually. I didn't even get into season 1 until, the later half of season 1, like the last 2 episodes, or the first ones I saw, and then I went back and watched them all. I think I love the idea of it because, like he said, it was the first actual series show that it had that drama. It was like, it wasn't just all about zombies. It was like an HBO drama with people's lives and zombies, and what can get better than
new kind of drama.
Yeah, it was a newer kind of drama, and I thought I like zombies, but I wasn't like obsessed with zombies like some people would say I am now. I wasn't obsessed with them until I watched the first season of Walking Dead, and it literally, like, the first season blew my mind. I loved it. I fell in love with it instantly. and it's done nothing but exceed expectations.
And people try to keep up with it too.
Yeah.
They try to what was that show, Fire in the Sky? Like they try to do that reality with horror, like humans, and then all of a sudden the drama of monsters and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys ever seen that. I caught bits and pieces of it. It was pretty cool when I saw it, but that was that's not here and there. But first season, very great, very awesome. We're just gonna go ahead and do the rating system. Second season, what do you think, DJ?
Man, I would have to give the second season 8.5.
8.5.
And I'm going to explain why. It got such a high rating because it was much longer due to the first season success. They made it a lot longer. I love that part. They cut down on the zombies in the second season until the finale. Until the finale, there was limited zombies after they got off the highway. There was limited zombies. But what the second season really did is throw the drama of real life things in there. Like, it showed the characters conflicting. You got characters who are realistic to the world, and then you got the characters who were still living in the old world.
More character based.
Yeah, it was more character based in it, and you kind of learned a lot. Actually, you learned a hell of a lot about all the characters in season 2. So it was more like a reality show in that. Well, that's not the right word. It was more reality based in season 2, I thought, which was really interesting. But at times you're just kind of like, okay, I know about all the characters now. I want some fucking zombies. And they did do their part to throw zombies in the second season.
Like the little zombies.
Yeah. They threw zombies in there, but not as much. But when the finale hit, that was pretty amazing, and that just like set the edge for season 3, I believe. And what would you grade that one?
I graded a 9.
9?
Actually, yeah. Yeah, like zombies, character base. They made up for that pretty damn well. I loved watching it the first run through, all the shit they pulled, and then they just cut it off mid-season and brought it back a couple of months later. Watching that for the first run through is pretty awesome. It was great. What do you guys think?
I'm going to go with the 8.5 kind of thing, but I'm going to dumb it down to like at least an 8. Everybody knows personal reasons why.
Yeah.
I'm going to call that one out there. Yoda died. And,
it happens.
He went out like a bitch to me.
You know what? You know what's really funny? When we were actually sitting here watching that, and I was like, I should text Brad and be like, hey, you should hurry up, your favorite character is about to die. And we were talking about it, and then he was like asking me about Dale, and I was like, you know what I liked about it is like, he didn't even get bit. He got clawed to death by a fucking zombie. I said those exact words. He went out like a bitch.
He was fucking old! Okay? he probably had arthritis and all that shit. I mean, he was like fucking 60 or something. He wasn't the, Top Gun Glenn. The fucking young runner. God damn it!
He went out like a bitch, though. Like the man said, actually. So,
but that's not the main reason why I named it an 8.
The reason
that I named it 8, it was, the long search. I agree with the whole lack of zombies. And they went to the characters, but in the beginning of the season, it seemed like everybody was trying to teach each other traits. Like when Sophia got lost in the woods, when they found that zombie and they killed. When Rick and Daryl found that zombie, they killed him. And Rick was starting cutting him open. And Daryl's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm gonna check and see if there's any human flesh in there." And he's like, he taught him how to actually gut an animal in a way, but it was just a zombie. And and then when R.I.P. when Dale was alive, and they were talking about the whole motorhome thing, and Glenn was just like, came up and he pretty much told Glenn, just like, here, try it out, and I'll like show you how to work on a car and show you how to do stuff. I mean, I like that. It started off that way in like the first episode, and then or the first couple episodes, and then it just went into just like, let's just constantly go out in the woods and kill random zombies that are really far until Carl gets shot. And then when Carl gets shot, oh shit, all hell breaks loose. And then we get introduced to the farm. Not a Living Dead style, but only no zombies around.
Yeah.
And I like that, but they stayed on the farm way too long.
One thing I did not care for it, why season 2 didn't get such a high rating, Andrea and Carl. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to start with Andrea. She's a whore. I don't like her.
Well, the name says it all.
I mean...
The name says it all.
But the main thing is like, she was such a dependent, whiny little bitch all the way through season 1. And then even into season 2, she was still like this dependent, whiny little bitch. And if Andrea doesn't have somebody that she could see herself fucking to latch onto, then she is like totally lost. She's a fucking sheep. She is not a leader, she's a fucking follower. And what really made me mad, I understand in the comics books, she was supposed to be like this super badass zombie killing machine. And then when they like progressed her into that, and okay, I don't even mind her being badass, but they did it so fucking gay on season 2. Shane took her into the neighborhood. He took her into the neighborhood, and then all of a sudden, like when she gets to a point, like they're getting surrounded, and Shane's clearing them out, and then he's like, "Fuck it, if you want to ever learn how to shoot, moving target, I'm gonna let the zombie run up on you." So, and the zombie's not even running; he's like slowly stumping up to her, and she gets like a point blank headshot, and then all of a sudden she just starts being a badass, and that just made me so mad. I mean,
and the best part of it was like Shane's like, "Come on, let's go," and then all of a sudden you see her go,
yeah,
headshot. I'm like, oh my god, that was the stupidest moment in movie history,
and
or actually in TV series.
And then on the other part, like everybody says, Carl. I believe we all think that Carl needed his ass whooped. I mean, I think if you would have whooped Carl's ass in the beginning of season 2, then half of that shit would not happen. Fucking Dale would probably still be alive if you would have whooped Carl's
ass. Amen!
Okay, they would have probably never got ran off the farm. If
fucking keep control of your kid,
if they would have whooped Carl's ass, then he would have probably never got ran off the farm. But you know how we thought it was Shane's fault? Like, when I was watching the marathon, it doesn't, like, Shane shoots and then it shows that whole scene, but when it shows Carl shoot...
The actual zombie... Well, I mean, they just got attracted to the sound, but, I mean...
They were close enough to where...
They knew where the sound was going.
They should have heard, like he said, they should have heard Shane's shot, but it didn't show the zombies hearing the shot until Carl shoots Shane. So basically...
Well, I mean, they were in the same vicinity.
Yeah, I mean, so they should have heard that, but they didn't show it until
maybe they were
Carl
just
shot.
it was just a firecracker. And then when Shane shot, it's like, when Carl shot, somebody died. Let's go eat.
and that's why I gave season 2 the grade I did, is mainly like what I explained, the lack of zombies, and
it was I mean, I like how it depicted the details of the character.
Yeah,
I really like how it went in depth on every character. It was just they kind of cut short of some stuff, and it was rushed too much to me.
But
it was rushed.
Taking nothing away from Walking Dead, season 2 is still an amazing season.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah,
especially the second half of it was. It was.
The second half really picked up.
We were getting into the first half.
Not only
the
that,
second half was like, even with Dale. even with that, you know, it was just with the what was the kid's name? The loner, the one that Rick saved from being mutilated and all that shit.
Torn apart and eaten.
Yeah, in the fucking village that they were in. That was crazy. Like how they threw him in the barn, and then that's like, you know, just kind of trying to depict of where they want to keep him alive or just want to go ahead and kill him. Yep. And that's where I go into the you know, the Yoda point, but I just want to go into that and later on.
You had something to say, didn't you?
I liked how it introduced that there was other people out there other than them that is just running all around. They don't even know, and they figured they're like one of the last groups alive and shit.
The bar scene
one question
was the best scene in season 2.
Yes.
The bar scene.
When they killed what was his name? Big Chicago or what?
It was like Tony and somebody else. I forgot his friend's name.
It was somebody named with a damn city. I'm almost positive it was like, or was it?
I just watched it earlier, but I can't remember. I think it was like one dude was. I think Tony was like the main dude, and then the fat dude. I cannot remember his name.
One's big, one's small.
Yeah, and they killed him, and then everybody's looking for. Yeah, it got into that debate. Like, but like when the big shootout happened after that, and it showed after the whole big shootout, and it showed dude jumping off that kid that they take hostage and everything. Well, after saving,
they should have left him.
I think so too. I really think they should just left him on that meat hook because he was fucking shooting at him. I mean, what the fuck? But I mean, you know, Rick's self-conscious, and this is before the Rick Tatership.
I would slap Rick in the back of the head. If I was
if Shane was there, he would have probably killed Shane or killed Rick right there.
Or killed the kid. Who knows?
No, he probably would have killed Rick. But I mean, the whole thing with like the guy driving off, as soon as he lands and he hears a guy scream, he's like, "Oh, help me!" The guy that drives off in that fucking car. I was kind of thinking that might have been the governor. He was just like, "Oh, later."
That wasn't the governor because he was like, "We're sorry." He was like, we can't. He yelled out, he was like, "We're sorry." Whenever he was starting to drive off.
I think that might have been the governor.
I don't think so.
Well, as ruthless as he is,
we'll figure it out later on, probably.
I don't know, man. I mean,
it isn't his voice. No, it was a kid. It was a younger cat.
It was more of the depiction of like
it was
when I saw
dude.
The shadow of the past. I mean, of the driver's seat. It was just it kind of resembled. I don't know.
No, he was younger. He didn't have that voice the governor has.
One of the best things in season 2.
But I mean, that was still mid-season 2, and before they actually got somebody to cover it up.
Very true. But that was not the governor. I can guarantee that one. That's what I think.
I don't know. I think the governor's a ruthless bastard.
We all know he is, but now we're on season 2. We're getting into season 3 now. Go ahead, Steve.
Sorry.
Another good thing about season 2
I'll get into it, man. We got to get into it. I mean,
they introduced Herschel's gun skill.
True. I love that. He's just like, yeah, I just never chose to use a gun.
I like Herschel.
Dude, Herschel, as soon as Yoda died, fucking Herschel was the shit.
And I have something to say. And a lot of people don't agree with me, man. My favorite character of season 2 is fucking Shane. Hands down. I fucking love Shane. You know why? And I'm gonna tell you why I love Shane. First of all, he's a fucking psychopath. It's pretty apparent that the motherfucker's crazy. You know, he shot Otis and sacrificed him, you know, and then he fucking...
To make him glorified.
And then he fucking rams his face into a tree and drags it just to fuck himself up, just so he can get Rick out and try to kill him. I love Shane because he was fucking unpredictable. He was like the wild card. You never knew what he was going to do. And I also liked him because all his decisions... I think we all agree that all his decisions were right.
Realist.
They're right.
He was a realist.
They're right.
He was a realist.
But
I give it to you. But he did it in the most...
Yeah.
Like,
he did it
barbaric method
in the most, like...
everything.
He did it in the most dickish, fucking
barbaric.
inconsiderate method, like you can imagine, is how he did it. I mean,
he didn't give a fuck.
But they wouldn't
anybody else's
listen.
feelings.
They pushed him to that point because they would not listen to him, and plus he had already fucked up.
No,
and plus,
Lori pushed him to that point.
Yeah, and I was about to say, and plus he'd already lost his boo thing to her husband.
Oh yeah, that goes back to the first season when Rick finally comes back with the group and sees his wife and his kids, and like when he sees Shane doesn't even he nods his head a little bit. But he doesn't go up and
he's not happy to
squeeze him
see
or
him.
anything. He's just like,
He's not-
shit, I lost my pussy.
Because he's not happy to see him.
That's exactly what he said. He's like, he's a fucking alive. Damn, I lost my pussy.
But like I said,
There's the
Shane.
world.
Like I said, Shane was probably my favorite character. And you know what I like? We were talking about the other night. I wish
Because he can be manipulated by a pregnant bitch.
I wish they would have had Shane leave the group, and then they could have made something around have him come back, and that kind of
You mean when
would've been, the last
Andrea was trying to get him to leave the group?
No, I think
because they already this is pre-sex with them.
Yeah, I think they both should have left. The only reason I think Andrea should have left is because I fucking hate the bitch and I don't want to see her face.
I really think they should have left. And
But I really
think
think Shane should have left, and then they should have brought him back at the last season, and it had just been a face-off between Shane's fucking group and Rick's. I think that would have been an epic last season of Walking Dead. But they killed them off. It's okay. I was just saying that was one of my favorite characters.
No, they got somebody crazier.
Yeah.
I mean, they got the governor.
But let me ask you this one. If Shane was on his own, do you think he would have ended up crazier than the governor?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Go around
Yes.
killing people that he
Yeah,
wanted
but I mean,
to.
he wasn't going to go off alone.
Because fucking Lori.
He wanted pussy, and then wanted one man.
And he wanted to be a dad and all that stupid shit.
He wanted
But-
he wanted a meat wagon, and he wanted an ally. That's all he wanted.
So saying that, let's move on to season 3.
We're gonna move on to season 3 already.
The first half of season 3, which is a lot to talk about. 1 to 10. 1 to 10.
Working right now.
The first
Yeah.
half of season 3, 1 to 10.
I'm gonna say a 10, but I'm gonna give it a 9.5 right now because Andrea's still alive. I'd say.
What about you?
9.
9?
Yeah, Andrea. Her storyline fucked it up. For me.
Okay. I'm gonna go into more detail, y'all. You know, they gave y'all the lame ass answer.
Hey, you didn't give us time to give it detail, motherfucker.
That too.
I'm gonna take the shot. I'm gonna take the spotlight right now.
Okay, take the spotlight and then just throw it back this way because that's how it goes.
Number 10. I'm gonna give it a 10. First half of season 3, you get a 10. Andrea, she survived, but they introduced Michonne.
I was gonna say,
Bad.
stick up for her.
Badass bitch. Michonne is a badass bitch, but I think Michonne should have left Andrea's punk ass in that fucking meat locker where she belongs, and then moved on without her punk ass.
I agree.
But I love season 3. I love season 3 to death, and it's just so many reasons for the first half that it's hard to try to explain it. Is the prison, Rick's group had went through a wintertime already, and they had been through this and they've seen it, and they're moving around, and they come on the prison, which I kind of don't get, because at the end of season 2 they show the last episode of season 2, they show the prison being right over that little waterfall thing, but it took them a whole winter to find it. A winter
But if you see it like it was right in their backyard. But to think when they actually found it, they did a big horseshoe, like they did in a big circle, but they came back to basically the same point. They just did a big horseshoe. Maybe they went to it and saw that it was just no way.
we can't handle it right now.
They've never seen it until that first time because I remember Rick and Daryl were the first ones to see it, and they were just talking about it. They were like, "Well, what do you think?"
So they trailed off. They followed the road.
They went around it. They definitely went around it.
They followed the road because it was right there. That's what they were trying to get at. And so they did a big horseshoe and followed the winter.
Yeah.
And then when it came out, bam.
But about season 3,
by that time they were a strategic team. They were
which
very
is what
strategic
I am
team.
about to say. My favorite, like one of my favorite things about season 3 is like how Rick had went no nonsense in his group. How he went no nonsense in his group, and he organized that group. Everybody in that group became a zombie killer. They even had I can never remember her name for the life of me.
Carol?
They even had Carol killing zombies, and like she was actually a decent shot, even though she almost shot Rick when they were busting into the prison. Oops. But I like how he had them organized, and what I really like about season 3, Carl becomes the shit. Carl becomes a badass in season 3.
Wait, was that before or after the dog food?
That was the very first. That we already.
Okay,
know
yeah,
that.
it was definitely after the dog food. I'm gonna take over while you.
Yeah, I'm gonna refill my drink. Go
refill
ahead.
your drink. Yeah, Carl becomes a badass because for one, he's hitting on the farmer's daughter, the younger one, not Maggie. I mean, we all know that Glenn the Asian guy.
Yeah, Glenn, he wore that country rope out.
Yeah, he did.
Props to Glenn.
Yeah, Carl. What do you say? He's probably maybe about 13.
Yeah,
About
and she was.
She's about 16.
No, I believe she was 16. I think she was a year younger than her boyfriend. Her boyfriend was 17. And I think she was 16 then. So she's like 17 or 18. And
Yeah,
Carl is like on that ass.
Backing.
On that
Backing
ass.
on it.
Yeah.
He is getting down on some farmer daughter.
I believe if they would, if the situation happened and like Herschel were to like die off before that, and they would have let them bunk in the same room in that the same cell in the prison.
What is that called? At the funeral, what is that called? It would be a courteous fuck in a way. It was you're just like, oh, you're so sad. Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
fuck
feel
your
bad
brains
too.
out.
Now, get into bed. That kind of thing. It's just like, oh.
We already know from watching that scene,
Man,
one scene. If Herschel wasn't there, she would at least blew the nigga.
Yeah. You see how he looked at her?
Yeah, and she was like smiling, like
she's like, and he was all like,
damn, I can't do
but
nothing
he
about it.
He still smiled, and he's just like, you want to take Rick's son's babies?
But I like how they took the prison and everything in that one.
Yeah, that was I thought it was very skilled how they took the prison. They survived the winter, which I'm still curious on how they did that. I mean,
I wish they would have
just
threw a season in there, man.
Yeah, they as far as I know, they just like went from house to house, and I guess they double backed and found that house that they missed because there was no food left. I mean, and it was just there were zombies in there. Maybe some people had went in there and died after eating all the food, but there was no cans scattered. There was no bedding anywhere.
It just looked like
it
was empty. Like somebody, like the people who lived there, just took everything and left.
Or like the zombie in the back room, the bedroom. They just just died there.
3 zombies in that house, I believe.
2 in the front and then one in the bedroom.
Yeah.
But that one looked decayed as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think they doubled back and like they just forgot that house. Maybe they already grabbed supplies out of it and somebody tried to come in there and survive and they just end up dying because of starvation.
Yep.
But anyways, they did a big horseshoe because they were talking about it on the map. I know they did. They did a big fucking.
And I like how they I also like how they figured out like where all the different herds and what direction they were going.
Yes, that was awesome.
I like how they figured that out.
Awesome.
Because
they were very stealthy about
that's a good survival tip right there, y'all.
Be stealthy for one.
Like we said on our last episode that we did, the survival episode, where we did our survival segment, local map.
It's supposed to air before this one, but we're trying to work on.
Yeah, we y'all already know. I put that on Facebook about all that I explained. So if you got a local map and you can do that, then you will be so much fucking better off. I mean, of course you're gonna run into zombies in between herds, but if you know where all the big herds are, then you're good. You can work your way around it if you know how to read a map. So I really like how they did that in that one.
Well, I mean, herds travel in packs. I mean, but what's to stop them from another herd? And that's what they actually did. They found out which herds are going which. I mean, they're taking it from the highway and to the lowway. Like there's like wooded areas where the hordes are going through the wooded areas and everything, and they had them marked off, like which way they're going.
Yeah,
and then like. It's soon to be following kind of thing. I'm guessing they scouted it.
Yeah, I'm guessing like to survive the winter, they probably just
had to. I would say somebody climbed a tree and scouted.
They probably just like ran into a herd, saw the herd, and then like, just like basically walk behind them slowly in a horseshoe, like just to avoid them.
Yeah, they could have spent the winter just following the herd. Yeah, scouting their movements. But so many theories on that.
True.
Well, talk about some of them then. Let's put you on blast, man. You ain't saying much. Come on, talk about some of them.
People were laughing at me. Well.
Here, sit on this glass. We're going to put you on glass.
I said glass. Glass.
No, we're going to put on glass and make it shine. Like a diamond.
Okay.
Okay, we should cut that out. Okay, well, season 3, we were talking about them finding the prison. Okay, when they found the prison, very good strategy. I mean, like I said, like they strategized about like how they went about the winter and everything. And what was it? They took out the zombies outside, and then they cut open the gate, and then they wrapped that wire around, which is a very awesome idea. And they did that with like just like bike tether locks in a way, and they used those damn hooks they use for keychains. I mean, it takes 150 pounds of pressure to break those hooks. I don't know if zombie's gonna break that with wire wrapped around and chain in a chain link fence.
It'd have to be a shitload of zombies, but they have so many outside, gates at the prison. They had so many outside gates set up to where there was no way that many zombies could get there without them already knowing.
You'd have to attract them.
And plus, it had like a moat kind of thing.
Well, they had a lake.
Because, like, on one side of it, there's, like, water, like, before the zombies can get to it, you know what I'm saying? So, like, when they first see it, I believe, is they're on a trail. When Rick and Daryl first see it, I believe they're on a trail, and then you see the water, and then on the other side of the water, and it's not long at all, probably like 10, 15 yards.
I think it's a little, like, a little lake reservoir for the prison. Like, you know how, like, people around here, they have, like, well water.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I think that's how it was for the prison, because that prison was kind of offset in the woods.
Yeah, like, it was self-sufficient.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just like, okay, they got their own water, and, like, if they got purifying systems and all that shit, and if they wanted to use it.
And they probably got their water from an aquifer, not that lake. But that lake is probably just the water that leaked up from the top from the aquifer that they use underground.
Probably. That's why T-Dog was wanting to build a little ditch like underneath that way. When they were talking about fertilizing, planting vegetables and stuff in that yard, and they still hadn't taken care of the zombies up there. But I mean, that was a damn good idea. Just tunneling a little water reservoir, just like kind of trickle in there. That would be a very good idea.
And another thing we're gonna say about season 3. Season 3 is where T-Dog actually was useful. If you followed the seasons, he was useless in season 1, besides his one major fuck up whenever he dropped the keys. And I don't know if you would call that a fuck up, because I don't know if they would have took Merle with him, how that would all panned out. I mean, Merle...
I really think he threw him in the drain. Because that was a pretty accurate shot for him to go.
It's a fucking TV show! I'm gonna go off like you did. It's a TV show.
Oh, wow. Dre went off.
I did go off for a second, but
DJ
I'm gonna bring it
went
back.
off.
I'm gonna bring it back into scope. Like I said, I don't know how that would have worked out. So, but if you followed it, like season
He
2,
drifted through it.
season 2,
Beer pong.
he didn't have much of a role in season 2, like at all, besides fucking up his arm. But in season 3, which actually pertains to a poll question that we put up there a couple weeks ago, he actually sacrificed himself for the group.
That was, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
after they had taken over the prison and they were still, they had took over part of the prison and they were still going through trying to clear it out.
Well, I mean, that's when the zombie attack actually happened. After they thought they cleared it out, like somebody sabotaged everything, and they cleared it out and all that. And he sabotaged it and brought zombies in, and it was still a labyrinth. And they still hadn't cleared everything out, but they ran into it anyways. And T-Dog did get bit, like, just, attacking, I think defending himself. I remember it was defending.
And he just held on to him.
But he was defending himself. He got attacked. He was already bitten. Like, he was trying to defend him and Carol. And at that point, like, he knew he was fucked. So he was trying to lead her out of the maze, or the labyrinth of fucking the jail cell, the jail hallways and stuff, and saw 2 zombies. Kind of a not so cool way to die, but in a way, kind of a cool way to die. He was infected.
I would have killed him. He just
ran
held
up,
him.
Yeah, he ran up and just pushed him and chipped like the weakest. It was pretty much one of the weakest ones, weakest warriors, as I would call them, the weakest warriors out of the group. Because the weakest that I would call would be Lori, but she's
dead and gone, dead and gone.
Yes, zombie's belly.
Yep.
And I thought he could have he should have went out stronger. Maybe like, taking them on, and then all of a sudden the horde behind him came, and like as he was getting bit, he like took off that, and while she escaped, because I don't know how she ended up in a metal cage like that when she ran into like a sunlit prison area kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, and what you
it's a fucking TV show.
And what you notice is like when Daryl actually finds her, she's like right by the entrance to the main part that they were chilling in.
Well, yeah, why was she sitting there going?
When she hears people outside the door that she knows.
Yeah, hey, she's weak as fuck. I mean, like, is she really sitting there just like pushing on that door like that?
Maybe the zombies were around there that whole time until that moment, and she had to sit there and starve for a little while and go without water.
Yeah, but
it wasn't that long.
With that, we're gonna get into the next part of the prison break, which is the other prisoners.
Oh yes, I believe his name is Tyrese.
Mm-hmm.
And his group there.
I think Tyrese is the one that fucked it all up. I'm talking about the first prisoners they ran into. Yeah. When they're in the labyrinth.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
When he runs into, you're talking about Oscar and the guys.
Yes.
Oscar and Axel.
Yep. That's what I'm talking
And
about. First prisoner.
what was his name? Tomas.
Mm-hmm.
Tomas was
he was Rick's. He was like the Mexican version of Shane. Literally.
And Rick took him out.
Literally. I love that scene.
He said,
because
fuck you,
because
motherfucker.
if you know anything about that scene, they were all fighting off zombies, and like they decided to start letting them in like a couple at a time and killing them.
No, they fucked up.
Yeah, they fucked up, and zombies started coming in the door, and they
wanted to let him
attacking.
in. They wanted to let him come in one at a time, but then
Both doors.
He just ripped it open anyway.
Yeah, they were supposed to open one door. Is what I'm saying.
he ripped them
let
both
them
open.
and then both of them came open. Is what I'm saying.
They ripped them open. And Tomas just took advantage of it.
Yeah. Okay, but in that scene, they're all fighting off the zombies, but Tomas is fighting Rick more than the zombies. He's like throwing zombies at Rick and shit, and like
taking swipes at
yeah, he's like
bringing it down on Rick.
yeah, he's trying to kill Rick basically. And then when the scene is over, which I'm gonna call out a little shortcoming in the scene because there was a shitload of zombies coming after him, but when they finally let him through, there was a lot less zombies than were at the door in the first place. But we're not talking about that. We're gonna get back into it. When they actually, when the standoff happens, is after they kill all the zombies, and Rick's looking at Tomas like, he's like, like what the fuck, like really? And they kind of have that standoff, and I forgot exactly what Tomas says.
Shit happens.
Yeah, and then he was like, and Rick's like, yeah, it does. Bam!
Turns around.
And he takes that machete and he fucking layers his ass with it all the way down.
Don't forget that little pussy. And he goes, no! Oh! He tries to hit Rick after he stabs him.
And then he gets like kicked away by who kicked him again?
Yeah, I think Daryl.
Daryl. I think it was Daryl. He just like gave him a little kick and dude like falls over like a ballerina.
Runs off, and then he's the one that caused the fight.
Yeah, they fucking throw him outside with the zombies.
Yeah,
and leave him to his own
Rick
devices.
Rick chases him, and then he runs off outside, and then Rick just shuts the gate. He's like,
"Fuck you!" And
Yeah.
then it turns around and bites him in the ass.
and it turns out he is actually the one who set off the alarms that you hear later on in the season. That and he actually cut a part of the gate open, so the zombies could come and try to fuck over Rick's group too.
Well, I mean, I think that's as much like foreshadowing and like that it should have been, but really, I think Rick. I mean, if he's already going to kill Tomas, I mean, I think instead of throwing him to the zombies, I think he would have just like. Bam,
And another
right in the head
thing,
hit
and
him
another
out.
thing
I
that
mean,
bites Rick in the ass from that is, even though Rick's like already like completely detached from everything, and also, which I love, he's detached from his wife at this point. He fucking hates her.
Oh wait, no, that's after. This is after. After the alarm goes
Yeah,
off.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He like doesn't want anything to do with this bitch, and I love it because I fucking hate Lori because she's a dumb whore. But I think,
Andrea too.
yeah, I think what fucks him up is he's still kind of the same person as far as like letting people go, because he let the other prisoners. He's like, y'all can have this part of the prison.
He's still got that little bit left.
Yeah,
That's what they pleaded.
But he's still in control. He's taken the democracy.
yeah.
Okay, but when Lori died, though, even though he showed no despair, like I mean, he showed nothing, no emotion to her when she saved Herschel's life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like everybody thought that
He was just like,
Herschel was gonna.
good job.
Herschel turned into a zombie when she was giving him CPR. I was just like, yes, bite her fucking face off. I was hoping for that one.
Yeah,
Like,
I
was
remember
yelling-
that night. I
Yeah,
remember that night.
and
Yeah.
turns out he was okay, which was cool because Herschel needs to live. He's a
Even
badass.
though he's a peg leg now.
He might be a peg leg, but he's a peg leg badass
Yeah.
because he's a Farmer John.
Yeah, I like that.
But after that one, he sat there and he thanked her for it. He never gave her a hug, no emotion, no nothing.
Yeah, he was just like,
And
good
then-
job, basically.
Yeah,
He's
he
like,
said,
that was a
good
good
job,
thing you did
and
for Herschel.
smacked her on the ass, and then said, go play ball. And then all of a sudden, she gets eaten by a zombie, or actually, she gives birth.
And she gets fucking capped by her son.
Actually, she doesn't get birth. She has to have a C-section done
Yep.
by Mandy.
And dies. And, giving birth in a way.
And then Carl actually has to pop her. And I like that
And-
part.
and see, that
Because
part right
that
there,
solidified
That's
Carl.
manhood right
That
there.
solidified Carl is like a permanent badass, because if you shoot your own mom and like how Carl dealt with it, he was just like,
Fuck it.
he was like, man, it's already so fucked up, and I'm like,
I like how they reminisce to that point to where they were back on Herschel's farm when they're in the barn house and said, you know, this ain't fun and games anymore.
yeah,
It's real life.
and he's like, and he even tells him, he was like,
Dead is dead.
he was like, everybody dies. He said, I'm gonna die, mom's gonna die. He said, you can never be
Dead
ready
is
for
dead.
it. He said, you can never be ready for it. You can just put it off as long as you can.
Yeah.
And like he kind of realizes like what his dad was talking about. He actually progresses a lot. And while we're here, I want to talk about character progressions throughout the like Rick's, like, you know, Rick.
We're kind of trailing off there. I mean, we're in a good subject there.
We'll just cut that part out.
Okay.
And okay, with that, I'm gonna now take you to the other part of season 3, which will be our introduction to the governor. And if you don't know already, Andrea and Michonne come upon a helicopter crash, and she has to detach her boyfriend's head or whatever they were to her, and
We don't really know the specific.
yeah, we don't know who they are, so to speak. We can only kind of
I want to say it's their mother and her father.
from the
way it looked, it was a male and female, but like the emotional detached, like when like they took her in and she just chopped off their heads from trying to be them quiet, and was it Andrea that brought it up and said, "Well, you just chopped off their heads and everything."
And she was like, if you knew the truth, then she was like, if you knew, then it wasn't such a hard decision.
No, she said it was easier than you think.
Yeah, something like that. Something
She
that's
said
great.
it was easier than you think.
But actually, that's actually the first point that we've seen Merle since season 1. He actually comes back, and he's actually a part of the group to take them back to the governor's community. And if you don't know, the governor is just like this totally fucked up, psychotic, charming dude who
manipulates
the fuck out of people, even Merle.
I want to say he's been in the military.
Something like he.
I want to say he's had a military experience.
And even Merle is like kind of like scared of this guy. Like Merle won't even
a
fuck
little
with him.
bitch.
Yeah, like Merle's like his little bitch.
Well, I can see why you make him this little bitch, because for one, he probably saved him.
Yeah, and he probably
And
saw
it's
him.
like, you owe me.
Yeah,
You're in debt.
and he probably figured that he was the biggest threat out of all his community is Merle.
Yeah. Well, it's Merle.
Yeah,
Fucking junkie from hell, right?
yeah. But I was so excited about the introduction to the governor and everything. I was really excited about that, and I like how they. I like how they reached out to transition between Rick's group and Michonne. And when I say Michonne, I mean Michonne in that blonde-headed bitch. I'm not gonna mention her, but I like how they transitioned between those and kind of showed them.
It was
And actually in that part they actually focused a little bit more on the governor, because as we all know, as later on the night, that's a fucking huge part of season 3.
Oh yeah,
Is the
definitely.
governor, which I like how they introduced it, and they slowly showed like how twisted and demented he was.
What got me
especially
was,
with Maggie.
Yeah,
yes, with the Maggie scene. The Maggie scene, that was very, 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 very like vile, and just like it's just picture him being that sick and twisted. I mean that depicts someone that is just so.
and he's so good at getting inside people's head.
It's a manipulative, like God complex kind of person. I mean, you see how he runs that place.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he's just
You-
he's like
In a like
brothers.
how he is, you have to be that way
I have the
for
10 Commandments.
to have all those people follow you as blindly as they did. Like you kind of have to know how to get into people's head and take advantage of them. Which like
In
when
situation-
he did the Maggie was like a perfect example of like how he knows how to get into people's fucking head.
Well, Maggie actually took that like a champ.
Yeah, she did. Yeah,
She took that one like a champ. She said, "Do whatever you need to do."
she was about to take it up the ass like a champ too.
Yeah. She's about to. She looked like she's about to. She said, "Do whatever you fucking want to do.
I bet
I'm gonna bow to your will."
Andrea and the governor, like how they
It goes back to what I said, people. If Andrea doesn't have a motherfucker that she can fuck to latch onto, then she has no purpose in life.
Shane.
Michonne.
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 Oh, you know they were a lesbian couple. I mean, somebody's got to lick somebody. And then now you got the governor. Hell, she was probably about this close to throwing herself at Myrtle. I think so. I think she was like this.
Whenever he was put into the alley, he was like, "So why we ain't never hook up?"
Yeah. She was all like,
She was like, "I'm gonna play hard to get, but I'm gonna let you know that I'm still open."
Yeah. No, I'm going for the governor. He came first.
Yeah, like he has more power than you do. I want him.
I bet if Glenn threw himself in front of her,
and it goes back to season 2. Like whenever the scene with the RV, I believe that Glenn would have been like, "Bitch, get naked," like in the RV after Dale died. Then she would have fucked him. I guarantee you, dude. I guarantee you that.
Yeah. A lot of talk about sex in this episode.
At least we're not like Chris, and we're not like, is there going to be a lot of car sex in season 3? Like, what kind of fucking question is that? Dumbass douchebag.
Okay. The reason we're talking about sex is because we're talking about one specific whore.
Yeah.
And she's spawning this shit. The only other sex that we ever mentioned was maybe Glenn and Maggie getting it on, and that's nothing. I mean, it's just, it's no important. It's just
that's just background comedy bullshit.
It's just two people in love, or they think, in the zombie apocalypse.
We're talking about whore sex.
We're talking about whore sex and whoring with villains. I mean, so you got herself thinking about Yoda, and then you got Shane, and then you got the governor. I mean, that's just, she's a dirty slut.
I mean, you got to think like, if in case you haven't noticed, folks, the governor probably fucked the majority of bitches in the community.
Dude, he had a girl. The doctor
in his bed.
The doctor that was examining Andrea and Michonne in his bed that night.
And it was actually the girl with the clipboard. It was
it was that girl in his bed
that was
night.
showing Andrea around.
Yes.
But like I was saying, the governor's probably fucked a lot of the community, and you got to think Andrea is such a nasty bitch. Like, do you think she gets blood blisters on her vajayjay now?
I think she's got more than blood blisters on her vajayjay.
She's probably like, oh, well, the world's gonna shit, so
I don't know.
I'm just gonna pop it.
I don't know what she contracted from Shane. I mean, and that crazy fucker, he probably fucked a zombie.
He didn't. He's not Marcus. He didn't fuck a zombie.
Damn.
I'm just saying. If you watched last week's episode, our friend Marcus said something about if you fuck a zombie, could you become a zombie from an STD? He's
man.
So I just had to throw that out there. Just saying.
He would.
He would.
All right. We're gonna get back. We're gonna get to this whole ending piece we saw with the war. Let's see, the governor fighting Rick and his crew. Mm-hmm. Oscar dying for. Damn, I hate to see Oscar go. I mean, I love the guy. The guy was he was holding his own.
Yeah.
He was the other black guy. He was holding his own, and then bam, shot in the back.
But now we have a new one, so
yeah, we got Tyrese in his group.
And, but at the war, actually, where you leave off, where most of our fans are anxious to see tonight, is the last scene of season 3, the mid-season, is the fucking reuniting of Merle and his brother Daryl. And I've been waiting for this for a long fucking time.
Dude, how many? Oh, it's been like
We've
about
been
2 years.
We've been talking about it constantly. Like we always talk about what would happen if they got back together. Like would they fight or would like Merle come to his senses? And I've always thought,
What side would they choose?
yeah,
you
I've
know?
always, and that's the big thing about it. And actually
That's the big thing.
and actually in the
what
scene,
side.
actually in the scene, like everybody's seen the commercials. They've been playing them for like the last 3 weeks. Excuse me. Everybody's seen the commercials, and it actually shows Merle like punching on Daryl, which is probably to keep up appearances.
I think really he's gonna beat the shit out of Daryl, but he's gonna be like, just do it.
Yeah, like go along with it. You know, just something like that.
Either he's gonna try to take out the governor,
No.
or he's either gonna like
And they also show
try and take out Daryl, but I think he's gonna try and take out the governor and just like maybe do a little distraction to where his little brother can get away.
Yeah, and they also show the flash grenades being thrown in the arena. Mind you, they threw them into that arena that they were both supposed to be fighting at. They might mislead us on that, but
I think it's a little misleading.
But in the background of that commercial, when you see the person throw the flashbang over, it's in the arena. Like he throws it into that arena that they're all fighting at, which might be how the fight was broken up. But I guess we'll just have to wait on that. But I'm just excited to see the face-off between Rick and the governor. I'm ready to see how that all takes place. Like the governor coming and attacking the fucking the prison with the FAMAS, and he actually has the FAMAS.
I don't know what I'm for. Steve or Golden Ghost.
You guys are covering it all.
You're just sitting there nodding your head. I mean, come on, give us some input.
You gotta talk, Chief.
I haven't really been watching the previews. I've been wanting it to be a surprise to me, so.
Yeah, you said that, and then you sat there and watched a 3-minute preview with me after you said you was single.
I couldn't help it.
I was about to.
That's gonna be it for DZT. Right now we're just gonna say, and that's a calling card because we're just gonna keep on going into debate about everything, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch this night's episode. And we can't wait for it. I mean, we can't go into further debate about it without watching this one. I mean, it's gonna be so much more badass than what we expected, and we're all waiting for it. We're all gripping for it. But throughout this week, we're gonna do a poll. We're gonna do the poll for The Walking Dead, and then we're also gonna do our own poll and stuff. And we're gonna want you guys to comment on anything you want to say about The Walking Dead, and like give us questions. Give us questions on like what do you think about The Walking Dead, and like give us something to talk about. Give us some topics. I mean, we'd love some topics. And we just really want you to like us, subscribe.
That's too nice. Let me take that.
Okay.
I'm sick and tired of people getting on my Facebook. If I see you like something off DZT and you ain't commented or shared it or liked the page itself, I'm gonna come after you. We need more likes. We need y'all to comment. We want everybody's opinion. I'm serious. I'm not playing. We want y'all's opinion. You need to throw out drinks of the week out there for us that you want us to try. You need to throw out poll questions for us maybe to try. If you got an idea about anything zombies, you need to put it on the site. You need to put it on Facebook/Drunk Zombie Talk. You need to put it on there. You need to check us out on YouTube. You need to share us. You need to like us. You need to comment. We need more, y'all. So y'all gonna have to start putting a little bit more effort into it, because we definitely are. We working on continuously improving every episode for y'all. So y'all need to get out there more often, and y'all just need to share us and just help us spread around. We trying to get this going. So that's basically what I just wanted to say. I just want I know
what you want. I know what you want.
I want our viewers to be more involved. Is what I'm saying.
We just want to be involved, and here comes the hug and kisses guy. We just want you to be more involved. We want you to like us. We're not going to be violent or anything. We just want you to like us. And you know, go to YouTube and check us out and subscribe us. Just, you know, subscribe. Drunk Zombie Talk. Give us some topics.
But saying that, we're gonna sign out tonight for DZT. I hope y'all enjoy this episode of Walking Dead as much as we will. We will be back on next Sunday to talk about it.
Already drunk and we're about ready to watch it. It's gonna be fucking ridiculous to me.
Yeah, so y'all be ready for it. DZT. We missed a poll question last week, but we're coming at you with questions. We're gonna have constant posts on the site throughout the week, so y'all stay tuned in for DZT at Facebook.com and on YouTube, baby, coming at you.
And I am Rabbit.
Going
Is this?
Going Ghost.
As always.
Do I need to say it? Just put it up right there.
Damn, what a dick. Gotta love him though. DZT coming at you, baby.
DZT, baby, represent.
Sign off.